Oh, man. What? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Knicks-Verse. Come into the Knicks-Verse here. Come into the Knicks-Verse, where the New York Knicks have just won their 6th straight in a row. And why am I so much more excited tonight than I was 2 nights ago? Well, it's because of the way they won, the situation that they won, what they were up against, and what it actually means for the future. We're going to get into it all. But first, I want to show you one highlight first. I'm going to show you the game highlights. I'm going to have all the game highlights. But this is the first highlight I want to show you because he's one of my favorite players.
5 months, a standing ovation as Derrick Rose takes the floor.
Look at his eyes here.
MVP chance. So they retired 4 jerseys here. The late
what
Jerry
I love
Sloan, Bob
about
Love,
him
Michael
is
George,
he's so
Scottie
present
Pippen.
in the moment.
So look for Rose one
He
day to be hanging
understands
in
the
the rafters
significance
as well.
of what's happening.
5 months,
And so does the
standing
crowd.
ovation
A very classy act by the Chicago crowd. Remind me of a New York crowd. They really do. All right, let's go. All right. The New York Knicks, there it is. You see? Michael, thanks to Tom Piccolo. 6 straight. And they won the last 2 of that streak in his hometown. Not his hometown, but his town. No one owns Chicago like Michael does. The New York Knicks went to Chicago on Tuesday. They stayed there and they took care of business Wednesday night. It was painful for me specifically. And you guys will know, I was not excited about that win that night. And I was not excited because the Bulls are not a good team. There was no reason that game had to go into overtime. There was no reason we had to go to ISO Randall and all that dribble garbage. That's not how you win in the NBA. Tonight's the kind of game that shows you how you win in the NBA. This is replicable. A team that is dependent on Randall to take you far is a team that's not going to get out the door. We saw it. We got 1 win in the playoffs. But a team that depends on everybody to be a piece of it. Not bad-mouthing Randall. I'm just saying we can't depend on him to be that guy that hits, 7 of 11 three-pointers, whatever it was that he shot. We can't depend on that. Well, but we can depend on solid defense, excellent defense. Let's not say solid, excellent defense. And tremendous three-point shooting by the New York Knicks. They shared the ball. They attacked. And they did not let the Bulls get comfortable. And they didn't foul. The New York Knicks only committed 13 fouls tonight. That's it. Let's get to the highlights. The New York Knicks got 50 rebounds tonight. 15 offensive rebounds. 13 steals. 24 points off turnovers. And they only committed 13 fouls. Fantastic. And Quentin Grimes. He hit 3 monster three-pointers in a row. Fabulous. This is my favorite game of the season of the Knicks, by far. This is by far the biggest win of the season for the Knicks. The Knicks are now 16-13. 16-13! I predicted in my early season prediction video that by this point, the New York Knicks would be 17-12. We're 1 game off. That's it. 1 game off. Part of that prediction included starting Grimes from the very beginning, but he wasn't healthy. We tried some other things. We got here. We're almost at the exact prediction that I predicted. One of my frustrations with this team is that I know that they are better than their record. They were better than their record last year. They totally underperformed last year. You look at basketballreference.com, they will tell you Based upon the metrics, they should have won 41 games last season. Instead, we won 37. Man. But this season, I predicted 47 wins for this team. We are now on course to win between 45 and 47 games if we keep playing this way. Outside, look, and we weren't even winning. We ended up with a 30-point lead at one point in this game. We were not even winning. We actually gave up a lot of points in the first quarter. 32 points, which is like the most we've given up in, I believe, in about 8 games. So it was 32-29 after the first quarter. We were down 3, but then we turned it on. That second unit came in. They clamped down on the Bulls. They only allowed 21 points to the Bulls in the second quarter, 22 points in the third quarter, and get this, only a minuscule 16 points, a sweet 16 they allowed, sweet for us, to the Bulls in the fourth quarter. To keep them under 100 points. New York Knicks won 114-91. They crushed the Bulls in their home arena. Outstanding. Look at this play. Look at this move. Look at that. Look at this. Look, and it trickles in. You knew things were going to go well for the Knicks once that happened. Once RJ goes in, gives a finger roll, and it just kind of hangs in the back of the rim, and it just trickles in. You know it was going to be good stuff for them. And then Brunson. Oh my God, Brunson and Grimes were unbelievable in that first half. They shot, I think the Knicks shot 10 of 17 from the three-point line in that first half. And 9 of those buckets were made by Grimes and Brunson. Brunson was 5 of 5, or 5 of 6 in that first half from the three-point line. Outstanding. The best part of the way that they played defense, they didn't foul. They didn't send them to the free throw line, because that's the key to the Bulls. If you send DeRozan and Levine to the free throw line, continuously, you're going to lose. But we didn't tonight. We played tight defense. Sometimes we gave up a little too much space here and there, but without fouling, I'm good with that. That was a terrible play, by the way. What was iHeart thinking there? When you switch, you got to commit to it and close out. Instead, he just stood there in no man's land. That's the kind of stuff that we got to tighten up against better teams. That was another reason why I wasn't that excited about the win on Wednesday, because the Bulls are not a good team. However, any team in the NBA, it's a gargantuan task to beat them 2 games in a row in their home arena, which is what the Knicks did tonight. That's right. The Knicks did it tonight. Out fucking standing. I love this. I love this win. I am now believing that the 6th seed is very possible again. I believed it preseason. Then I saw some things that were very alarming, distressing. Thibs, his rotations, his hesitance to embrace the youth. But not luckily, but to give shout out to Leon Rose, because you guys know I've blasted him here. But little by little, he took away Thibs' crutches. Got rid of Nerlens, got rid of Taj, got rid of Burks. Bullock is gone, got rid of all those pieces. And now he's forced to use the young guys that they've drafted for him. They drafted him for him. And now he's using them, and they're delivering. They're delivering in such a beautiful level that this team actually has an identity now. This is a tough team to score upon. That is the New York Knicks' new identity. They are a very difficult team to score on. And doesn't that sound great? Doesn't that sound, to all of us who have been with this team for 4 decades or more, doesn't that feel right? Doesn't that feel good? Yes, that's the kind of team. That's the kind of team that the Knicks are that's the kind of identity they're supposed to have. All right, here we go. That's right, 6 in a row. The New York Knicks have now won 6 in a row. They're one of the hottest teams in the NBA. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, I think the Memphis Grizzlies are a little hotter. A little bit hotter. Man, are they smoking hot right now, too. 114-91. Here we are, 16-13. I want you guys to just enjoy that for a second or longer. The New York Knicks are 5.5 games back of the Boston Celtics. They're just a half game behind the Sixers, who did win tonight. They beat the Warriors without Steph Curry. They easily could have lost tonight. They could be 15-14, and the Knicks could be in 5th place. That's how close we are into that mid upper tier. The mid upper tier. If the Knicks play defense the way they have been playing all this time, the past 6 games, actually, let's reach back to the past 10 games. Since IQ has been a great defender the whole season long. But since Quentin Grimes and Mitch Robinson got healthy and came back into the rotation, the Knicks have been one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. If they hold on to that and they carry it throughout the rest of the season, and maybe we add a piece or two that doesn't damage the core, that just enhances it, this team could possibly get past the first round. And that would be, man, if we got past the first round, I mean, we'll be dancing. We'll be dancing. We'll be dancing no matter what. Look at this, 7-7 at home. We have a better record on the road, 9-6. Outstanding, man. I gotta applaud them. I gotta applaud this result tonight. This is fantastic. You guys, look. This is a drink that was made for me. It's called the Knicks Fix. It's got blueberries, it's got mango, the colors, delicious. You guys should celebrate. So, let's get to the rest of the stats here. Well, let me show you this. So, Kirk Goldsberry, if you don't follow him, you guys definitely should. Posts tremendous stuff. So, this is the last 10 games, not including tonight's game. So, only one team is in the is doing better in the quadrant of WOW than the New York Knicks in the past 10 games. And now, let's say 11 games. And that is the Memphis Grizzlies. The New York Knicks are number 2 overall in net efficiency, number 9 in offensive efficiency, and number 3 in defensive efficiency. Drink that all in. We are on a roll, brothers and sisters. We are on a roll. Let's enjoy this moment. Let's enjoy it because I think it's going to last. This is it. Because tonight's type of game, tonight's type of win is replicable. A team that, like I said it earlier, a team that depends on Julius to do his wonderment. It's not that replicable. We've seen it. We know it isn't, but we know that he we know what he can provide. We know he's an excellent player. When he's restrained, when he's not asked to do too much, when the ball is in his hands all the time, when he's not dribble, we can use him as one of the most lethal power forward weapons in the NBA. But like all weapons, you have to figure out how to use them. You can't just you can't just, I was about to make a bad metaphor, but you know what I mean? We have to manage them correctly, and Jalen Brunson has been doing that. And fantastic. Kudos. I mean, tremendous win, guys. I couldn't be happier. This is I fear for the Indiana Pacers on Sunday. Indiana Pacers, you're going to get your ass kicked on Sunday. If this team that we saw tonight shows up against the Indiana Pacers, sorry. Ian Begley, always good for a great tweet. Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, and RJ Barrett hit a combined 14 threes. And New York Knicks dominated offensive glass and win at Chicago. Knicks have won 6 straight and are 8-4 since Grimes and Mitchell re-entered starting 5. New York Knicks had 15 offensive rebounds to Chicago's 2. Bulls also had 20 turnovers. Love it. So here we go. This is a little backwards here. Oh, I didn't add this. Oh, well. Randall finished plus 21 with 19 points, 4 assists, 3 steals for him, and only 2 turnovers. That's the best stat of the night. 4 assists, 2 turnovers, 2-to-1 ratio. I'd like it to be a little better, 2.5-to-1, but that's fantastic. But look at the 12 rebounds. Awesome. Mitch Only 6 points, but at plus 25, he was a beast down low. A beast. He disrupted Vucevic. He disrupted the entire Chicago offense. Fantastic. Brunson, 22 points at plus 16. RJ Barrett finished with 27 points, the high scorer of the night, with a plus 28, and it showed. When he was on the floor, especially in that second half, like the Knicks were just cooking, sizzling. You saw the little roll, the way everything was going in his way tonight in the second half. The first half was a little bit frustrating. There were some layups, some easy like bunnies. They weren't bunnies, but they were contested. But there were some attempts at the rim that just didn't quite go his way, and he was frustrated. Well, he must have gone into the locker room at halftime and thought it through, and he came out firing. In fact, I want to see exactly how he did in the second half, because I believe that it was pretty outstanding. Yes. RJ Barrett put up 11 shots in the second half and hit on 54.5% of them. He put up 2 of 3 from the three-point line, 66.7%. The one area where he was not his usual great self, it was his free throws. He's been averaging about 80%. He missed a bunch of free throws tonight for some inexplicable reason. But he had 19 points. 19 of his 28 points were all in the second half when the Knicks just stormed away from the Bulls in this game. Just sailed away from them. It was awesome. Randall had 11 points in the second half. Brunson 7, Grimes 7. I'm going to talk about Grimes soon. Don't worry, I'm going to talk about Grimes. Grimes has been a revelation. And Mr. Miles Deuce McBride. I love that guy. I love me some Miles McBride. I do. What I love about him is that, he's not the most gifted person athletically. He doesn't have great size. He doesn't have he doesn't have a natural shooting stroke. Like, none of that. But he works hard, and he uses this. And he uses the tools that life has given him. And then he tries to maximize them. And tonight was a beautiful example of them all coming to fruition. He shot 2 of 3 overall in his 13 minutes, but he came up with 2 steals and 4 boards tonight in just 13 and a half minutes. Even though, that's not that many minutes. Well, also, it was a blowout, so maybe they kind of benched him and they gave other minutes to other people. But he's been a tremendous addition to this team. And it was also, I think it was a signal to the rest of the players on the Knicks. Once Thibs imagine this. Think about it. I want you guys to take a moment and think about how life is when you are a player of the Knicks with Thibodeau and Derrick Rose is on the team. Okay? Derrick Rose is healthy. And Thibs decides to bench him. Take him out of the rotation. Along with Cam. And he puts Deuce in there. That's like a clear shot to everybody who remained in the rotation. And the shot was, hey, defense first. Defense first. And the New York Knicks have adopted that. They are now one of the very best defensive teams in the NBA. That is right. And I'm not surprised. That was Thibs' calling card. In fact, it was kind of weird that after about 20 games or so, the Knicks were stumbling along defensively. Come on, that doesn't seem like a Thibs team. Well, they have corrected it, and it was done. And I mean, Grimes was already going to be a part of the rotation. We already knew that. And then he came back healthy, and then Mitch, of course, is a defensive presence down low. There's no doubt. But once he made the switch to go with Deuce, it just basically was a memo to Randall, to RJ, to Jalen, to iHeart. Hey, play some fucking defense, or you're going to be the next one on the bench. there we have it. Not that he could actually do it because there aren't that many players, but at least it was a symbolic message, and it has worked. It has worked tremendously. The Bulls, look at this. Not one Bull scored over 20 points tonight. The high scorer was Zach LaVine, 17. He did shoot 7 of 12. And at one point, and I tweeted it out, there was a look in his eyes. He's looking at the Knicks, and he's thinking, I could be a part of that team. Well, you're not going to be a part of this team. It's going to cost too much. I love your offensive, what you provide offensively, but, defensively, you're going to have to bring it, bro. You got to bring it to get on the squad. That's the loud and clear message. Here you can see the field goal percentage. Look at this. The Bulls shot at one point earlier, like about midway through the fourth quarter, they were shooting 50% from the overall, 40% from the three-point line, and still losing by 18 points. I tweeted that out because at that point they had only had one offensive rebound. Look at the rebounds. They had one more after that. Rebounding, like I said, it was 15 to 12 overall offensive rebounds. The defensive rebounds were pretty much a wash. They had more assists. But we got more loose balls. We got more second chance points, second chance attempts, and we put up 44 three-point shots and connected on almost 39% of those. We made 17 three-point shots. It's hard to beat a team in the NBA when they connect on more than 15 or more three-point shots. It's actually you almost can't even lose. It's really tough to lose in the NBA if you connect on 15 or more three-point shots, which the Knicks did tonight. We didn't even shoot that well overall. We only shot 40% overall. So we barely shot better from the 2-point range than we did from the 3-point range. We only made 20 more buckets. We only made 3 extra buckets inside the arc than we made outside the arc. I love that. But I want us to be a little more efficient inside the arc. If we are to be the kind of team that is starting to find itself, we've established an identity, and now we're trying to make, it's like my cake in the oven metaphor. If it's baking right now, we're trying to figure out exactly what kind of team this is going to be. We need to do better inside the arc, and we have done better in the past. Randall's been better inside the arc. RJ's been better at finishing, and we know we got the best finisher around the basket in the NBA, which is Mitch Robinson, in terms of putbacks and alley-oops and all that. There was not one alley-oop tonight. Not one single alley-oop tonight, which is really fascinating. The ingredients are there. This team can be a good team. This team, if it keeps going the way it's going, could surprise a lot of people. A lot of people. A lot of teams in the NBA. The beautiful thing is that as we continue to win, the value and respect around the league of the players that we currently have only going to rise. And that's only going to be better in the long run. It's only going to be better in the long run. I currently don't want to make any moves. I like finding a home for Cam makes sense right now because we're not going to re-sign him and we can't lose him for anything since we gave up a draft pick and Knox for him. So to flip him for something, I'm fine with that. We do not need to trade Fournier. We don't need to give him away. If we can get something good for him, something like commensurate for him, he's still one of the top 5 3-point shooters in the NBA, despite his defensive deficiencies. But other teams they're not structured the way we're structured. So other teams can really utilize him better than we can. So in that case, I'm willing to trade Fournier as well, no doubt, but we don't need to give him away because there might be a time where we actually may need Evan Fournier. Remember that. So I'm loving the situation that we're in right now. And Sunday, we play the Pacers. If we get that 7th win against the Pacers, oh man, that's wow. I can't even control myself. Cheers. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and turn on the notification bell so you are alerted when I drop videos. Hit the thumbs up button. And most importantly for me, drop your comments. I love the comments. Even if I don't comment, I've read it. And they help me. They help me understand what's, things that I've missed, like I've said before. And they illuminate certain things I may have said, whether correctly or incorrectly or whatever. I just love the back and forth dialogue. And eventually, when I do live shows, I will have call-ins and stuff. So I want more of an interactive situation here on the Knicks-Verse. I appreciate all the support that you guys give me here. It really helps. And look, we're looking good. We're looking good. Let's celebrate this. Let's celebrate this. Yes! Knicks are 16-13. We're in 6th place. Solidly in 6th place. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.